It's not very present in the media. There's not a lot of it about.
Maybe it hasn't, like, there's not enough awareness to it. Maybe it's also like, I don't know, just victimising the youth a bit.
Do you think it's badly?
Well, yeah, it's a gang, isn't it?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but there hasn't
Sometimes
been
it's a
trade.
sense of community.
Okay, so I've seen Jane the Virgin where someone's mum had like scars from an acid attack. That was portrayed quite well.
How was it portrayed well?
Well, they didn't use it in an insensitive way, so that was good. But I mean,
they didn't really victimise her character either. She was like still this strong character, so she hadn't been undermined by the attack.
And she overcame it.
And in Deadpool as well, like he's got, is it Burns?
It was Burns, yeah.
And he's still playing like a
Lead character.
Superhero character. And he's out for revenge for his face.
He's out for revenge.
So that's different ways that he's represented.
In Batman, where Two-Face is angry, and where he's gotten half his face, and he's angry
Want
and revenge, and he is the villain.
Do you think that's a good way?
No.
No.
That's our film.
And do you think there are other characters in other media which are portrayed like this?
Yeah, Freddy Krueger. Because he goes around and he's really mean and he kills people and he's disfigured.
Is that a bad thing?
Yeah. Because then it makes it look like they use his disfigurement to make him seem more scary. Like he could have just been a normal guy, but no, they had to get a disfigured guy.
Yeah. They also...
The heroes have eyes as well, they're all disfigured and they're really mean.
They also do that in Rain with Clarissa, and they use her as someone that she has some kind of disfigurement with her face, and they kind of use her in a bad way to like make it seem like it's a bad thing to have a disfigurement. Probably more victims, but then there are antagonists as well, so there's a mix.
Who do you think is more memorable?
The antagonist.
Yeah, the antagonists.
Like in American Horror Story, there's the maid and she has a facial disfigurement,
Yeah,
doesn't she?
she does.
But like she's portrayed as more like the victim, but you don't really remember that. You remember the guy with all the burn scars who kills that person with a shotgun, doesn't he?
Yeah. Yeah.
Horrified. Not even a word on that list, but it's not very nice.
I feel sympathetic to like victims that it happened to.
I think it depends on how they do it. So they could do it in a really insensitive way. So
Define insensitive.
So I think that if someone then suffers an acid attack and then kind of demonising them or kind of undermining their character like, after it happens, I think that's quite insensitive. But then obviously they can do it so you sympathise with the victim, which might create more awareness for kind of like people who suffer acid attacks as well as kind of preventing it.
And it promotes a lot more of their feelings, how they feel after it happens as well.
Yeah.
Because you don't always obviously understand what they're going through.
I think it depends on the character that they're portraying as well. So that sways more if you feel sympathy for them or not.
Yeah, it's all about like the context of the situation.
Yeah.
Maybe if like the person who was acid attacking, like if he killed his mum or something, then maybe you'd be like, oh, might be alright, but at the same time it's still pretty bad, so no.
I think when it is talked about like acid attacks in the media, it's quite exaggerated. Like with the ones that happen, like in London and stuff like that. It's quite, I don't know, whenever I see it, it's very like exaggerated. They say like, oh, you should like be aware, and they kind of make it out to be something that happens like really regularly. I guess it does happen regularly, but I think they use it to scare people.
I don't think that they inform you enough. I think that they should probably talk a bit more about it to raise more awareness for it.
Do you feel as though continual awareness needs to be a thing?
Yeah, I think so.
And it's only kind of really ever talked about when something happens, like it's not
continuously talked about. It's like it happens and then it'll be talked about for a day, and then it'll like die out and you won't really see it again until something else happens and then it'll be talked about.
Maybe that's
only
because-
awareness when it's calm.
Yeah.
Maybe that's because it's like, well, not necessarily acid attacks, but different sort of attacks are quite common. I mean, it happened here as well, like, didn't it? Like, someone was like killed in the high street, and then that was kind of massive at the time, but kind of gets forgotten about eventually. So.
I think have more awareness and like more consistency with it rather than like just making a big deal out of it when like something happens. Like have more consistency with raising awareness of stuff like acid attack.
And talk about it more, like even if it's not in the actual news, like just raise awareness for it so that it doesn't happen as much maybe.
Maybe not be like prejudiced towards a certain side of the situation either. Got to consider everything. Still bad, but don't prejudice.
If you can prevent the cause, then you won't have to deal with the aftermath.
I think if you're going to focus on the aftermath, you need to make sure you do it in a sensitive way towards the victims, but also kind of like not condemn the attacker, but maybe make the like viewers understand the attacker.
I think psychological aftermath, like how the person feels like mentally afterwards, as well as like, because instead of just focusing on physically how they've changed, like how it's changed them mentally, how they're dealing with it, stuff like that.
Including like relationships.
Yeah, like
definitely.
the breakdown of relationships or the formation of relationships it can cause, stuff like that.
Definitely, because it does affect that, and you don't always realise that until you're informed about it. And I think a good way to inform people about it is through the media, because that is what most people use now to find things out.
Like maybe in a slasher film.
Yeah, possibly, that'd be good.
Perhaps like show, this is kind of going towards the prejudice thing again, like just make sure like you don't focus on one like side of the story again. You've got to like show both their backgrounds and stuff.
I think the attacker shouldn't be like demonised completely. Like I think it should show his reasoning for doing it and stuff. So like it's not just here's someone, they've just attacked someone. Because I feel like that's a scaremongering technique kind of thing.
I think as well, like show more of the cause of it rather than just the like attack. Like show more like why they've done it to make it seem. I feel like that'd be a better trial if you showed them leading up to the attack rather than just like an attack and then it just makes them. I mean, they're going to look back at the attack, but like if you can kind of see the reasons behind it.
I think you've also got to be quite sensitive towards the audience as well. So like who's watching it, is it going to like really affect them if something like that's happened to them? So I think you have to be careful like how you present the victims.
And then you should look into how you like present the aftermath of it, like what you do to rectify the situation.
Maybe a slasher film wouldn't actually be the best sort of film to create for it, because it's just really, I don't know, it's based on gore and stuff, and you don't really want to necessarily make it about that. If you're trying to spread awareness of it, you've got to focus on the cause more rather than the actual like situation and like making it, that would just make people like more fearful of it. It's not going to spread awareness and stuff.
Yeah, because and as well, like with acid attacks, like the victims, that's quite a sensitive subject. So maybe kind of focusing on how it could have been prevented in the first place, rather than like kind of like glorifying just like the gore of it.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Thank you.
See you next time.
Bye.
Like and
Subscribe.
Subscribe.